I got to admit something right off the beginning of class, that you've been denied some mathematical stuff during your mathematical careers. When you guys did SOHCAHTOA, you did sine, cosine, and tangent, and that's what we've been doing this unit. I hate to break it to everyone, but there's actually 3 others that are out there other than sine, cosine, and tangent. All right, 3 others out there. So 6 in total. All right, 6 in total. Let me introduce you to those 3 right now. The first one. Go ahead. Why don't you let it roll off the tongue if you can? Secant. Yep. And just like sine, cosine, tangent, it has an abbreviation. It's SEC. Secant. Here's what secant is. It's cosine flipped. So whatever you had for cosine, flip it, you get secant. So let me go through, other than 1 over cosine, let's put a couple other ones up here that we know. What's cosine as far as SOHCAHTOA? Adjacent over, flip it. Guess what secant is? Hypotenuse over adjacent. Where was cosine on the unit circle? No, just what was the coordinate on the unit circle that represented cosine? X coordinate, right? We've been here before. We're good. X coordinate. So I'm going to flip it, and secant's going to be now 1 over that X coordinate. So all I'm doing, I can't stress this enough, is flipping. When I say flipping, by the way, the mathematical term for that, reciprocal. I'm flipping, taking the reciprocal of cosine. All right, let's go to this next one. Let it roll off the tongue, number 2. Cosecant. And the abbreviation we're going to use is CSC. What am I going to do with that? I'm going to take whatever you get for sine and flip it. What's sine for SOHCAHTOA? SOHCAHTOA, how do you opposite over hypotenuse? Flip it. Hypotenuse over opposite. And what coordinate on the unit circle do I look for sine? The y coordinate, so I'm going to flip that, and cosecant will be 1 over y. And the last one, cotangent. I think it says it for itself, right? Tangent's in there. So I'm going to take tangent and flip it. What's tangent as far as SOHCAHTOA goes? Tangent as far as SOHCAHTOA goes. Opposite over adjacent, so cotangent, flip it will be adjacent over opposite. And do you guys remember tangent from Friday on the unit circle? What over what? Y over x. So guess what cotangent's going to be? Flip it. X over y. Here's where you're going to struggle at the beginning, is remembering which one do I flip cosine, which one do I flip sine. You're going to get those 2. I don't think you can get this mixed up, can you? Cotangent, flip tangent. All right, where you're going to get mixed up is which one do I flip for these. I got a little device for you. Write out SOHCAHTOA on the top somewhere for me. And underneath each of these, I'm going to write their reciprocals. So sine, when I flip sine, which one do I get up here? What do I do? What do I get when I flip sine? What's it called up here? Cosecant. So under sine, I'm going to write CSC, which is your cosecant. What do I get when I flip cosine? What's that called now? Secant. So I'm going to abbreviate it SEC. And then when I flip tangent, cotangent, COT. Here's how I'm going to have you remember which one you flip. That's secant, right? What's another abbreviation for SEC? What English word? Secant, correct? So it goes with the second one in SOHCAHTOA. All right, that's how I know these two go together. SEC is an abbreviation for second, so it goes with the second one in SOHCAHTOA. We like that? No? Yes? Okay, I know your mind's blown. Glad I showed you. All right, let's do this. Find the exact value. Wednesday's unit test. When you see exact value or exact form, know what is allowed? Sloppy decimals. So your calculator can only take you so far. Secant is 60. Find the exact value. Secant is 60. I hate to break it to you guys, but you don't even have a secant button on your calculator. Don't go searching for it. It's not there. Okay. I do need you to go to 60 on the unit circle. Let me know what point I'm at. 60 on the unit circle. 10. Where's 60 on the unit circle? Yep. Radical 3 over 2, right? So that's what I'm going to just start thinking about. 60 on the unit circle. All right. Secant now. I flip what? Which one of the three do I flip to get secant? Here you go. 11. Which one do I flip? Secant. Cosine. Which one represented cosine, guys? The x-coordinate, 1/2. Flip it, you end up with? Done. Let me go through that again a little slower. Secant, 60 was my coordinate, 1/2 radical 3 over 2. Secant, you flip cosine. Cosine was which coordinate on the unit circle? X-coordinate, 1/2, flip it. Got my final answer. Anything right now before we get to the next one? All right, let's go. 150. Ooh, I do not know that point on the unit circle, but I do know what? The reference angle is 30, right? Reference angle's 30. Give me the point at 30 degrees. Here you go, 5. Give me the point at 30 degrees. Got it. 150 though, where am I? Second quadrant. Second quadrant. Should the X or the Y or both be negative? X should be negative, so make sure we make that little adjustment. Okay, number 8. Which one am I flipping to get to cotangent? Tangent, and this is going to take a little bit more work. What was tangent? Do you remember, Trent, on which? Tangent was y over x on Friday. Yes, everybody, y over x for tangent on the unit circle. So now what do I want for cotangent? X over y, so negative radical 3 over 2 all over 1/2. X over y. And you know we're not leaving it like that. You guys that were here on Friday, what do I do to clean that up? 19, what do I do to clean that up? We were all sad. 20, what do I do to clean that up? Darn right. Negative 3 over radical 2 times 2 over 1. Yep. All right, go ahead and multiply it for me. 11, multiply negative 3 times 2. What do I? Okay, just calm down. I don't need to hear it from you. Let's try this again. 11, negative radical 3 times 2. And what do I get on the bottom? 2. Keep going or leave it like that, everybody. Keep going, yep. I can reduce the 2's and end up with 3. Negative radical 3, yep. There it is. Pi over 4. I don't want to do that. I don't got time for that. 45, yep. Pi over 4, 45. 45 times 3. What do you got? What are we finding here? Cosecant of 135, yep. Reference angle for 135. Reference angle. Here you go. 6. Reference angle. 45. Give me the coordinate at 45 on the unit circle. Coordinate at 45, 13. Comma. What quadrant am I in, everybody? Second, so which coordinate should be negative? X coordinate, yep. Cosecant, which one are you flipping for cosecant? 19. Which, yeah, you can answer that, here or not here on Friday. Cosecant, which one do I flip? Sine. What coordinate is sine here? Y coordinate, so flip it. 2 over radical 2, right? Flip the y coordinate. What are you all saying to yourself right now? Have some self-respect, right? Get that radical out of there. Have some self-respect. How do you get it out of there? 20, how do I get it out of there? And the top, yep. Give a little love to the top. Let's keep this algebra train going. 15, what's left on top? And how about on the bottom? You want to reduce any more, Anna? What am I left with? Yep. Questions? Anything? Other than remembering what you need to flip, is anything different? You just got to remember which one you got to flip. Ooh, ready to go. Use your calculator now. But you guys got a problem. I told you this problem at the beginning. If I go cosecant of 63 right now, what's the problem? There's no button on your calculator. You'll never find it either. But I can still use my calculator. What are you flipping for cosecant? What are you flipping for cosecant? 16. The sine value. Everyone agrees? So you're going to take the sine of 63 and flip it. So here's what you're telling me you're doing. 1 over sine of 63. Take the sine value of 63 and flip it. Can everyone do that on their calcs? I think so. Go right ahead. 1 over the sine of 63. Whoa, whoa. How about that, kids, huh? Thousandth? How many numbers after the decimal should we have for thousandth? 3 numbers after the decimal. So yes, you are reading the 4th one to see if you round or not. What do you got for me, 17? Oh, garbage. 13, what do you got for me? There you go. Cotangent, hi, Declan. Okay. Cotangent of 245. 1 over what now? What am I flipping to get cotangent? Tangent 245. 15, 4 decimal spots. What do you have? 0.466. That is 1,000. Right? 3 after you look at the fourth one to see if you round or not. Secant of 35. What are you typing in the calculator? 15 again. Anna, what are you typing in your calculator for this one? What am I flipping? Yep. So 1 over the cosine of 35. Three, what do you got for me? 1 point. What? What are you doing in your calculator? We're using the calculator appropriately over there? Can we put in 1 over cosine 35? We good? Yep. Any issues there flipping? Or remembering which one to flip? Remember, second one, so you flip cosine. All right, which one of the following values is not in the domain? Basically, hey, undefined. Which one do I get an undefined out of? Which one do I get an undefined out of? Cosecant, which one are you flipping? Sine. So I'm not going to ask you where you are on the unit circle. Everyone's got a calculator on them. Make sure 1 over. Make sure we're doing 1 over sine of 180, 1 over sine of 60. Which one am I getting an undefined value back? Three, what do you got for me? Which one do you get an undefined one back? 180, yep. 1 over the sine of 180. I'll give you undefined. Anything else? We're almost done here. Only thing I got to talk to you guys about is where are they positive, where are they negative? Little ASTC. You guys can fill in part A for me. Go ahead, fill in part A, and go ahead, fill in the tangent. Go ahead, fill in the cosine, fill in sine and tangent. I don't think I have to fill that out for you. Where's everything positive and negative? And then we'll talk about the others. Maybe start thinking about the others now. Start thinking about the others. What you think. Ready to roll? Everyone okay? Are we okay on the three basic ones you've known all your life here? On knowing where it's positive and negative. We're all good there before we get into the new 3. What's your thoughts? Let's go cotangent. What's your thoughts? What'd that A mean again? Everything, I don't care what you call it, everything is always positive in quadrant 1. Any other thoughts on where cotangent might be positive or not at all? What's that? I got a quadrant 3. What do you have to flip to get cotangent? What do you have to flip to get cotangent? Tangent, right? You have to flip tangent. If you flip a positive number, does it stay positive or does it go to negative? Stays positive. Everyone agree? If you flip a negative number, does it stay negative or does it go back to positive? Hey, if I flip negative 3/2, is it still negative or does it go to positive? Still negative. What am I trying to get at here? You have to flip what to get cotangent? Tangent. Everything's going to stay the same. It's still going to be negative and positive in the same quadrants tangent is. That's not going to change. The sign doesn't change when you flip a fraction. Secant, what are you flipping? Cosine. So it's going to be positive and negative in the same quadrants cosine is. And then what about cosecant? What are you flipping for cosecant? Sine, so it's going to be positive and negative in the same quadrants. That's one good thing. You don't have to memorize those. Whatever you have to flip, the signs stay the same. In your group right now, go through 5 and 6. I'll meet you back here in about a minute and a half. In your group right now, 5 and 6. All you're doing is determining the sign in number 5. You're not, no radicals, fractions. I just want to know if it's positive or negative. Positive or negative. And if worst comes to worst, check it on your calculator. If worst comes to worst. Back to business here. Cotangent 340. Hey, just a little tip. If you want to take it and run with it, go ahead. When I deal with these new ones, I always write above it what I'm flipping. So cotangent, I just write above tangent. And I say, oh, tangent of 340, would that be positive or negative? And then the answer to that's the same as cotangent. So 340, what do you got for me, positive or negative? 8, positive or negative? Oh, easy. Let me talk. That's a negative. Yep. Secant, I'm flipping cosine. So I just write a little cosine above and say, okay, 123. Would it be negative or positive? 11, 123. Negative. Second quadrant. And how about 184 for cosecant? 16. Negative. Because that's sine and we're in the third quadrant. Negative. And then the same thing down here. I see cotangent, I write tangent. I see secant, I write cosine. So where is tangent negative, cosine positive? Name the quadrant I'm in first before I get to the degree measure. 5, what quadrant am I in? Fourth quadrant. Out of these 3, the only one in the fourth quadrant, 310. We're all right, picking not too bad. And then you're going to do one more right now in your group. I'm just going to get you kick started, and then we're going to get reviewing for this big unit test coming up. Okay. Find the value of the 6 trig functions. And again, the 6 again are sine, cosine, tangent, And the three new ones we learned today, what do you get when you flip sine? Cosecant. What happens when you flip cosine? Secant. And when you flip tangent? Okay. So I need all 6 of these values. Going from what angle? Which angle in the triangle am I going to be looking at? Angle A. So I'll get you started. Find angle. Find the sine of A. 3. Ready? Sine of A. Usually, what do I use for sine? Which side and which side? Okay, we're going to run into a problem in a second. What's the opposite side of A? And what's the problem we're going to run into? We don't, but we do have a device that will find it for us. Pythagorean theorem, you got it. Radical 7 squared plus 3 squared equals something squared. $12, got that hypotenuse length? Yeah, no problem. Why are you questioning that? Why? Why? You tell me, why doesn't it seem right? Other than just because it doesn't seem. All right. There you go. Radical 7 over 4. And now that you have sine, what do I call that one? The new one from today when I flip sine? Cosecant. So go ahead, flip it. You get what? 4 over radical 7, but little self-respect on hand, please. I'm going to let you and your group finish up the other 5 now. Don't leave a radical in the denominator. Any issues with all these values up here? Because I got one more. We still haven't finished it, though. It said find all 6 and also do what with angle A? Find it. Find the angle to the nearest degree. What do we have to do on the calculator for this one? Anytime I'm finding an angle. Inverse. You got your choice here. What do you want? Let's be smart about our decision here. What do I want to find the inverse of? What's up, Brian? Cosine, that's fine. Could you use any of the 6? Yeah, but I probably wouldn't recommend staying away from the new 3 and anything that had radicals in it. So yeah, let's do inverse cosine 3/4. What do you end up with? Nearest degree? 40 degrees. Oh. All right, get started. Here we go. Next pages, get started. Get in the habit. Which one do I flip? Right SOHCAHTOA at the top with everything underneath it if you need to.